So the cars make their way round Knockhill's famous hairpin for the first time behind the safety pace car. It will pull down the tri-oval and we will be getting ready for a race start here at Knockhill for the third and final race under beautiful blue skies at Knockhill for this Jermakosh Trophy race meeting, a very, very special trophy that all these legend drivers want to win. The red lights are on, but there is no overtaking until they get across the top of the hill. It's a long hold on the red lights and the drivers are baying them as the lights now go out and down towards Duffus Dip for the first time they go. And they all fan out trying to get the prime position in through the top of Duffus. A big lock-up coming down the inside there. That looked like Jonty Norman had his car completely locked up but managed to stop without collecting the back of Stuart Black. But speaking of Stuart Black, 52, look at the start that he has made as a couple of cars come together at the back there. It's Max Popoloscu in car number 48, one of our visitors over from Ireland, which is great to see Declan Burke joining us with Paul O'Brien running him this weekend. Paul, a former racer in the Scottish Legends Championship, brings his man over towards Knockhill for a one-off event before the touring car meeting. But he will come in towards the open for the first time of asking. And look at the cars all fan out as 46. Brent Bowie leads through for the first time. Bill Reid very much chasing in the orange car. And we see Dan Clark getting a little bit sideways out the corner there in a brand new car. We need to say that for Dan Clark. Big kudos and pat on the back to the guys at Clark Motorsport. They had a big incident on this Saturday, and over Saturday night into Sunday they completely rebuilt a car from a chassis that was donated through Ryan McLeish. So they built a car from the ground up in the paddock. Great to see Dan back out in that car, and already 14 ahead of 15 LB Clark, his better half, shall we say, as they come through the chicane. But already starting to come under big pressure is the man at the front with Stuart Black up the inside into Clark's, and he goes past Brent Bowie. A nice clean manoeuvre, and through the pack his Black has come with great ease. Ryan McLeish a little bit further down, stuck in amongst the midfield just now, still trying to fight his way through with Dan Clark. But Stuart Black away at the front, making this one look pretty good so far, as Dan Clark has a look at Bill Reid coming in towards the airport here, but Bill Reid closes the door as Pino Palazzo in 75 goes side by side with Jonty Norman through the hairpin, clicking off the laps. Again, just look at the weather we've got here at Knockhill Racing Circuit. It's high temperature, and that's not a great thing for these little legends actually. The tyres do tend to suffer, and also the engines do tend to suffer in this extreme heat that we have. Scott Smith trying to come underneath LB Clark in towards McIntyre's, but LB hangs it out on the outside. Big sideways moment. Oh, somebody was putting a wheel in the gravel there. Was that Palazzo who dropped a wheel into the gravel? Scott Smith did execute that move on LB Clark, so that was a brave move from Scott as he comes from McIntyre's Butchers and then in towards the chicane, a little bit wayward in mind. Oh, is Bill Reid in trouble? Bill Reid looks like he's slowing off the curb. He is. Bill Reid goes onto the grass in 333. Bill Reid, his little legend coupe, has crawled enough and he parks towards the tyre wall there. Great shame for him, as Scott Hines has all sorts of Brent Bowie issues in towards the apron, but a good cut back there on the switchback for Scott Hines in white 26 up the main straight. He pulls out from the slipstream, or he was already out the slipstream as he left the hairpin, and he passed before they got to the crest of the hill. There's the stricken 333 car with Bill Reid now spectating in the long grass on Hislops just before the hairpin. A great shame for Bill Reid. And there's Ben McNeice coming through. He's in the 82 car, and Ben McNeice with a good run this weekend. Also, Ben McNeice, the man behind Power Team, your high voltage specialist in Power Team, very much behind the Jermakosh Trophy meeting, putting up a big prize fund which has been gratefully received by all the Legends drivers, and it's a bit of a talking point in the paddock that these guys are all racing for a little bit of prize money here. Oh, Scott Smith gets turned around by Pino Palazzo at McIntyre's, and Scott in the gravel. Gentle on that throttle, son. You don't want to bog yourself down there as Pino Palazzo tries to roll across in front of Scott, but Pino's just trying to get out the firing line there. Waved yellow flags, flashing boards from the marshals there. Pino will quickly turn this car around. There he goes. And there would be no intent in that. That's just a little mistake from Pino going in towards McIntyre's. It's easily done as the cars come through Clark's. This is LB Clark who we're picking up with now, the second of these two cars, trying to go past Brent Bowie and Max Popoloscu in the 850cc 3-cylinder water-cooled new MT09 engine car, the red car there. Beautiful sounding car, along with Stuart Robertson. We've got two of them out this weekend, but we do run three of them for the rookies in Scotland. But LB Clark pulls out from the slipstream on Brent Bowie. This is a big manoeuvre, and through she goes. Good manoeuvre from LB Clark. in the Clark Motorsport number 15 car to get past Brent Bowie in towards Duffy's Dip. Can she keep that position through? Yeah, you can see the cars sliding through there. We're now at a point where the tyres very much are starting to cry enough. The extreme temperature that we have at Knockhill, and that's something that I haven't actually said before, as Elby has a huge moment coming through the chicane. Just manages to hold on to that, but there's a car either side of her into Clark's and drops 2 places. Bowie goes past and Poplioshku, and here comes Jordan Hodgson as well, who's making a return to the series now. Jordan Hodgson very much trying to make a manoeuvre in towards Clark's, and it looks like he's done it on the back straight. Although it's Elby who's managed to go back ahead of Brent Bowie, and Jordan Hodgson has followed through. Now, just before we got to that long shot, we did see Ben McNeice all over the back of Scott Hines, and that's a battle for last step on the podium. Remember, Stuart Black still leads this race at the front from Daniel Clark, but Scott Hines coming under increasing pressure from Ben McNeice. We'll need to try and catch up with that if we can. Wave yellow flags again at McIntyre's turn 3. And the marshals are on the manoeuvre. Who have we lost there? We'll try and pick up with that in a minute. We've lost Chris Dewey, who didn't start on this one. That could be Ryan McLeish, actually. We have lost Ryan McLeish. Easy for me to say. Car number 71, the man who's very much up there at the sharp end in the championship, Ryan McLeish from Edge Motorsport, has disappeared. And the marshals at McIntyre's were on the manoeuvre as we see Ben McNeice goes underneath there, just out of shot. Good overtaking manoeuvre from Ben McNeice to go underneath Scott Hines and get that position. That is third step on the podium, now going the way of Ben McNeice. He'll be very happy with that one. That's been a big aim for him this year, starting to run himself in the paddock, having great fun with his friends and preparing the car. And here we can now see him under huge pressure from Scott Hines. Scott Hines can't pass into McIntyre, so he's trying to set him up on the exit. We could see Ryan McLeish's car was on the apex of Butcher's across beside the tyre wall, so something has gone wrong for Ryan McLeish. That's a disaster. You can't afford to drop points in this championship. And Scott Hines has a big moment going into Clark's, runs off on the way in towards the corner, and that effectively gives a nice bit of a buffer now towards, I've got to say, Ben McNeice will be happy with that one when he looks at his mirrors coming through Clark. 2 teammates there, Poplioshku and Hodgson in the 95 and the 8 car up over the crest of the hill. Elby Clark trails in their wake in 15 as they crest the hill underneath the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge here at Knockhill and start another lap into Duffy's Dip. Now through here in a legend, this is so good. It's so fast, but you've got to be spur on. Poplioshku locks up going in there, and that's going to give Jordan Hodgson the chance to go past on the inside of McIntyre's, but he decides not to try and put his legend in an ever-diminishing gap there, which would have probably bad consequences come the top of the chicane. He follows his teammate through that twisty part off the track. But Max Poplioshku, a man who's new to legends, really is showing great speed here, as Dan Clark has tried his best and he slides out the hairpin as they come up towards the checkered flag. Stuart Black has just throttled back as he takes the checkered flag and takes the Gerard McCosh Trophy race day. He'll lift that lovely big Gerard McCosh Trophy. He'll be delighted with that one. Dan Clark in a good second place, and Ben McNeice will round out the podium in the final. A good result for Ben McNeice in that Power Team backed car, and the 2 teammates drag up towards the line. Scott Hines with a good 4th place, 5th place for John T. Norman. Max Poplioshku does get 6th place actually, and 7th for Jordan Hodgson. So great to see those guys crossing the line together, having a good time. But there's your winner of the final, and he wins the day overall, taking away that lovely Gerard McCosh Trophy as well. Stuart Black, the current champion, he has been a man on a mission this year. He leads the championship as we go towards our next event in July. Stuart Black leads from Ryan McLeish and Dan Clark, 160 points, the difference at the top. The next event is the 8th and 9th of July at Knockhill Racing Circuit. Tickets are on sale at knockhill.com.